Hi everyone. This is Veena, assistant professor from MBA department. And in my last video, I have explained about what is the gap analysis and what is the importance of the gap analysis. And in this video, let me get deep into how to conduct a gap analysis. So we know that what is why it is so important in an organization. And so in this video, we are going to look into deep into how to conduct the gap analysis and one of the important framework, the McKinsey 7S frame. So what is gap analysis? We know that. Now, how to conduct a gap analysis. So, first and foremost, we need to define the requirements and scope. So, what we are trying to achieve, we need to define it. Only then, if we want to fix the objectives, only then we can work towards that. So, and then step two will be determine the ideal state and the benchmark. So, what should be the ideal state or what we need to do and what has to be benchmark, it need to be determined. So that is where you are now has to be identified. The first step is where you want to be, and the second step is where you are now. That has to be identified. The difference between that will be the step three. Compare with the existing policy. So, what is missing? In achieving the objectives need to be identified. So, with the current level, what is required to achieve the objectives need to be identified. That will give you by comparing the current state and what has to be achieved by. So, what is missing or needs to be identified. The fourth stage will be implementing the action plan. Now you know what is missing or what need to be done for the improvement, and based on that, frame a strategy, and that need to be implemented with the correct action plan. And the final one will be the track the progress and the report. Now, what has to be done for the improvement after determining the improvement need to be identified. After that, we need to implement and we need to track the progress. Only then we need to ensure whether this gap will not be continued further. This will not happen in the future. So that is how we need to conduct the gap analysis. So far we have given a clear definition and importance and the how to do the gap analysis. Let's get deep into the next subject, the McKinsey 7S framework. As like gap analysis, this is also one of the strategic tool which has been developed by the consultant Tom Peters and Robert Waterman, which helps the organization assess and improve their alignment and effectiveness by examining the seven interconnected elements. So, what are the seven interconnected elements? The first and foremost will be the strategy. The second will be the structure, systems, shared values, skills, style, and style. So here we are going to differentiate these seven elements into two different categories. One will be the softest, and other will be the hardest. So focus on the interconnections of the elements, which has been categorized under soft S would be the shared value as the center reflects the crucial nature of the impact of changes in the founder values of the other elements. So the first and foremost, the softest would be the elements where the skills, style, and the staff would be targeted, and where the hardest will be the strategies, structures, and the system, and the shared value will be reflected at the center. So that is for the crucial of the organization which impacts the changes. So having the hardest at the top, having the softest at the bottom, and having the sharedest at the middle will give you the McKinsey 7S. So let us get deep into what is all about this each S. So first and foremost will be the structure. What structure do we need to execute the strategy? In what structure we need to execute the strategy that need to be identified? Then the system. So what business systems do we need to use or invent to execute the strategies need to be identified. And next comes the strategy. So what should we do to solve the problem or the specific business problems need to be identified. So this will serves as the hardest of the McKinsey's framework. And next comes the softest. What are all the softest? Yes, the skills, staff, and the style. So what is there in the skills? What is the specific? skill that will help us. What skills do we need to develop, need to be identified? And what will be the style? Yes, what kind of leadership style and cultural qualities will help us to achieve the strategic objectives need to be identified. And what will be the step? Yes, how should we help our managers in their growth? So that is what the step. So these are the three soft S we have identified. And the final one, the center part, will plays the major role, the shared value. Which of our principle helps us, and why do we do that in the way we need to do it? So this all put together will contribute the McKinsey 7S framework. So let's get one more information on that. What will be the benefits and the limitations of the McKinsey 7S framework? Yes, the benefits highlighting the extensive effects of changes within the organization. It will assist in planning the necessary steps to achieve the desired goals and ensuring the alignment of various departments, processes, and less tangible factors. And the next, the model promotes the cohesive and unified actions across different company segments. And limitation data. This model is suited for long-term application. This is not for the short-term plan. And this framework focuses predominantly only on the internal factors, and most of the external factors which is not being considered, or it is considers very less. So finally, implementing this model can be much complex, or it involves much cost. So these are the limitations of the McKinsey's framework. So hope you have got a good knowledge on the McKinsey 7S framework, and thank you for watching this video. Thank you.